Seventh note, going to the 8. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is where you can learn something new and practice at the same time. Isn't that great? So today we'll talk about 2 scales that you can improvise with. One major, one minor. We're going to explore all kinds of stuff. So join me. Let's do it. Before we start, I just like to shout out my friend, my buddy Steve. I don't want to say his last name because I don't want to mess it up. It's now on the screen. You can see it. But Steve wrote me the most amazing comment, an interesting comment, by the way, ever. So thank you, Steve. He's been playing bass since he was 14. He's 70 now, and just by the words and his general vibe, I can see that he's an amazing person. And he asked me about my equipment, my bass, my strings. So I'll write a description in the description about my setup. Maybe someone would like to see it. So hey, Steven, thank you for that. We're talking about the first scale. We'll talk about the major scale. And with each scale, we'll show you the fingering, which is how to operate the scale, but also one unique point of each scale, what I think or how I think of each scale. So in each scale there is one point that is very, very unique. Sometimes it's more, but in these scales, in my opinion, there are one like cherry. I had a teacher in music school, they used to call it cherries. So in the major scale, I believe that the cherry is the 7th note. Half a step below the tonic, right? The octave, I should say. And so we'll talk about that. But first, let's start with the fingering. So I'll show you 2 fingerings that you can use for a major scale. First one is just starting on the 3rd fret with the 2nd finger. Second, 4th, jumping a string. 1st, 2nd, 4th, jumping a string. 1st, 3rd, 4th. So that's the first fingering. By the way, if you started here on the 5, 6, 7, 8th fret, I never count frets. So if you do it here in C, you have one more string. So you can do the first 8 notes, then go to the 2nd note or the 9, and then the 3rd and the 4th. So I would consider play it here if you're improvising or just having both of them basically. One more fingering. Let's look at one more fingering. So this is how it works. 4th finger, 1st finger on the next string, 3rd, 4th, 1st on the next string, then the shift, 4th finger. This is something really unique. Going from the 1st finger, one tone up with the 4th finger. I do that because then I can move with the 1st finger much more comfortably. Check it out. On the way back, we do the same. By the way, octave and the 9. So 2 fingerings that you can use, really, really important. You can practice them however you want, up, down, fast. So now the cherry. In the major key, the 7th note, also called the leading tone of the scale, is very, very nice. It sounds mellow and uplifting at the same time, I guess. So and the way I want you to practice this scale is, just improvise, right? going to do it together now, but I want you to explore by yourself the different relations between the note. Now, I'm planning on doing like a more intense lesson about scales and the relations and the hierarchy between the notes, but not for today. Today is something, it's a quick win that you guys can already use, but I want you and I encourage you to explore by yourself the different relations between the notes. So what works and what's not working. Now, the seventh note is very, very spicy, right? It stands out. It's a major seventh. But try to see all kinds of combinations between the seventh note, which is like the cherry, and the other notes. So let me demonstrate before we practice together. Seventh note, going to the 8, going to the 6, resolving to the 1. Going to the 5. Okay, so I'm exploring different combinations. 8 and 7, 6 and 7, 5 and 7, 1 and 7. By the way, you can also play this seventh note, right? Down below the tonic. Also sounds really, really cool. By the way, I really love to solo also on lower strings and not automatically going up. Okay, so now it's time for you to grab your instruments. Yeah, I want you to start to improvise, take a solo. It could be also in any position that you'd like on the bass. I'm gonna play for you the backing track as usual. And yeah, maybe I'll play bass just really soft. So explore the different combinations. That doesn't have to be fancy. Actually, it needs to be, you need to be able to listen to it and really learn the quality of each relationship. Here we go, grab your instruments. Guys, please subscribe and comment, leave a comment. Those comments, you have no idea how much fuel and energy it gives me to see your comment, to see you subscribing, to see you liking. It tells me and the algorithm that you like this content and you would like me to create more instruments. Yeah, you can start with the seventh note. Jump right to the seventh note, you're emphasizing it, you're giving it a lot of power. Use the fingering, don't leave the fingering. Forgot to tell you that. For now. Don't forget the seventh from below. Try to go to a higher location, position. Don't forget this fingering. Keep going. Start a phrase from the seventh note and then try to end the sentence phrase with the seventh note. Okay. So, one thing that I would like to add is, if this is the fingering, if you chose this one, doesn't mean you can go down to A and G. we're playing here. Okay, so this one gives you plenty of options. By the way, look, in this fingering, we're doing the 7th note with the first finger. Here it's with the 3rd. Just a nice observation. Okay, let's move on to the 2nd scale. Okay, so now we're talking about a minor scale, and I really love the Dorian mode, which is basically a minor. Only the 6th note is raised by a half step, and it makes a huge difference. Now, it doesn't work like magic when you improvise with those scales. It's not, okay, I'm going to play the Dorian mode, Ron said it's cool, and I know that a lot of people use it, so it's just going to work. It's not. It's about what I told you earlier, about you finding the relationships that you like. That's what art is all about. Art is about expressing yourself. And if you're just doing something, you're not expressing yourself. But if you say, I really like the combination between the 6 and the 7 in a minor scale, that's expressing yourself, right? You're choosing something that you like and you bring it, you offer it to the world. And that's a really important thing. So the minor scale with the raised 6th degree, or Dorian mode, which comes from it's the 2nd mode of the major scale. But for now, we're using it just as a static color. Okay, so here is the fingering that I would like you to use. The first one. Like I said, the fingering is the operating system of the scale. This is how we operate it. So, first finger, 3rd, 4th. Now we have a minor 3rd. This is the heart of the minor sound. Let me play a chord. Turn it down just a little bit. Then, 1st finger, then 4th finger. Just get used to this alternation. Instead of this, you do this. After the 4th finger here, we're going to the 1st, 2nd, and 4th is the octave. So 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. Next string, 1st finger, 3rd finger. 4th finger, 1st, 2nd, 4th. 1st, 3rd, 4th, 1st, 4th, 1st, 2nd, 4th. So this is the Dorian mode, and this beautiful raised 6. Let me compare it for you. That's the natural 6. It's a half step above 5. That's why it doesn't sound so. It sounds good, but this is much more interesting to me. And as you can see, because we're in C major and D minor, which are brothers, again, this note is very unique, right? Because it used to be the 7th in the major mode. Now it's the raised 6. A whole different meaning, whole different emotions. Happy and sad at the same time. It's complex, and I like it. Again, I'm expressing something, right? I find something that I like. Okay, so let's check out some examples. Again, I'm exploring the different relationships between the notes. Here we go. Tonic, right? That's an octave. use the fingering. So I'm actually improvising and thinking, okay, I like this one, let's develop it. I don't like this one, let's move to the next thing. I'm always expressing myself. This is basically what I'm doing. And this is a huge secret for a good, I don't know if for a good improvisation, but for honest improvisation, right? I'm choosing something that I feel connected to and I'm offering it to the world. That's it. And usually if you do it sincerely, it will resonate and will, the listener would be moved by it. Okay, now it's your turn. Grab your instruments. Remember to improvise as much as possible. I messed it up a few times. Yeah, use the fingering as much as possible. Check out the relations. Check out what you like and express it. And don't forget, you can go lower, by the way. Oh, I didn't show you one more. I didn't show you one more fingering. So before we practice, let me just show you one more fingering for this Dorian mode. So we can also play it from here, and again using the fourth finger for starters. This is a beautiful one. Very comfortable. So fourth finger on D, or any tonic of minor key. Fourth finger first, second, fourth, next string, first, third, fourth, first, third, fourth. We have from the tonic until the decima, the third above the octave. Okay, now let's practice. Grab your instruments. I'm going to play the minor, the D minor for you. And yeah, here we go. Think of the fingering. Use a lower position, a higher position. Use the cherry in this case, which is the raised sixth. Explore the different relationships to it and from it. Remember, when you're jumping to a note, you're emphasizing it. When you're starting with a note, you're emphasizing it. Keep the fingering going. Don't mess it up, or just at least try to. That way you're really owning this fingering. Later you can, of course, change it and break it, but for now try to keep it. Maybe that's a better position for the camera. Okay, so that was the minor one. So let's just summarize what we had. We had the major key. I showed you 2 fingerings, and we talked about the 7th note being the cherry, being the special note. Then we talked about the minor, like Dorian mode, which is the it's the 6th raised degree that makes it stand out. And we showed one more fingering. You can go back to the chapter and check it out. So that was today's lesson. Yeah, and if you have questions, I'm a quick responder. So if you have any question, don't hesitate. Just comment your question and I'll be happy. I'll be happy to answer. I'll be happy to answer it. Yeah. And like I said, I'm going to leave a description with like my equipment and my setup as best as I can. Thank you guys. God bless you. Bye bye. Stay safe out there. Bye guys.